So you're ready to publish your first book. Did you know that you can actually channel it? Did you know that you don't have to spend months and years planning the perfect book when the perfect idea has already been created for you? You just have to ground it. You have to make space to receive it, channel it, and then develop it into your product, into your book. Hi, my name is Stella. I'm the founder and chief storyteller at Stellar Storytelling, and I just channeled my first book, my debut book, No One Knows Me, which arrived as a channeled idea. It all happened really fast. I started 2024 thinking I better go back to writing my first book, which at the time was a book about happiness. And then around March, April, towards May, the idea arrived and I made space for it. I knew there were 12 chapters. I knew to start assigning names to them, symbols. It's a very alchemical book. And then almost in a span of a week, everything was there. And I'm still blown away by how much that experience transformed my entire life. Because then my higher self had me create not one but two campaigns to get the book out there, to start spreading the message of the book, which is a healing guide. And then I thought to myself, okay, maybe campaign isn't the right way. Now that I've learned what makes it a good market fit and what resonates with people, let me just share it. Which I did using Amazon KDP and then going into Ingram Spark to move it to physical stores, which I'm in the process of doing so right now. My point with all of this information is that if you're ready to be of service, if you're ready to be a storyteller, if that is what you feel called to do, to share your story and to be a storyteller that elevates the human spirit, it's not about spending hours crafting the most polished and perfect story. It's about understanding that that story has already been created, that there is a library of stories that are yours. You just have to remember how to channel them. You just have to remember who you are, who you came here to be. And that is the process of reconnecting with your higher self. You can think about your higher self as the voice of your intuition. You can think about your higher self as your future self, the one that's already accomplished everything that is currently on your vision board. And you're slowly working your way to align with the achievements of your future self or your higher self. Although to me, the higher self is actually this limitless being. It's like this bundle of limitless potential, and you're just accessing what needs to be accessed in order for you to be of service right now, because you can never truly fully embody all of your higher self. That would be too much to handle for this fragile human body, but you can absolutely extract some of that limitlessness and channel it into the earthly realm and share it with your community, with your audience, whether you're in the position of being a leader, a teacher, or a full-time writer. So if you're ready to channel your first book, or perhaps you've already published a book and now you're ready to channel your next book, I can help. Every story requires different energy. Every story requires a leap of faith, trusting the unknown, because this journey is going to transform you as the writer, as the storyteller, as much as it's going to transform your connection with the world, with your immediate environment, and with your audience that is waiting to hear more about the next big idea that you're working on. Channeling is not a new practice, it's an ancient practice, but the way that I'm talking about channeling isn't necessarily connecting to some sort of spirits out into the open that are giving you these shortcuts or cheat codes into the game of life. I'm talking about connecting to a higher version of your own self, a version that allows you to channel wisdom that is beyond your years, while also combining your human experience so far. So, still using some of your ego to capture your essence and who you've become, the lessons that you've learned over the years. Your higher self will help you transform them into brilliant characters, magical characters. Whether you wish to convey your story using a non-fiction framework or a fiction framework. In my case, I published my debut book, No One Knows Me, in two separate versions. One is just nonfiction, the other combines nonfiction with fiction. Because I knew there is a level of magic. I want to contain, I want to channel, I want to create. I want to share with the world, with every single thing that I create. I believe the magic is within us. And if you are a creative person, and I can tell you that every person on earth is creative, then you are connected to that same magic that I'm talking about right now. Here are 5 things to remember when you're channeling your book or when you're trying to channel your book. Number 1, know your purpose. Be clear about what you want to achieve with this book and with your life's mission on earth. In my case, I want to be a storyteller that creates more space for authenticity, for joy, for collaboration, for creativity, for unity. So I channeled a book that presented my audience with a healing guide so that they can work through some of the obstacles that prevent them from sharing their true authentic self with the world or living with joy, giving themselves permission to feel the joy. Number 2, know who you are. And I think number 1 and number 2, they're kind of interlinked. The more you know your purpose, the more you know who you need to be in order to fulfill that purpose. And the more you know who you are, the more your purpose aligns with that sense of self and strengthens it. Number 3, be clear about the intention that you're setting with what you're asking for. What I mean by that is you're not necessarily asking for a specific book. You're asking for an idea from the library of the universe that you get to call your idea. What is the intention that you have? Sure, you have your purpose, you have a mission, but what is your intention? Why do you want to channel this idea right now? Why do you think it matters? For me, this was about inner child healing. My debut book was all about reconnecting with that innocence that is within all of us and allowing yourself to feel the awe and wonder that only a child feels, especially if you had to grow up prematurely. Some of that joy, some of that wonder and curiosity, it was taken away from you. And with my book, that was one of the intentions. I want to help people reconnect with that aspect of who they are because it's in them. Number 4, trust the process, trust the detours, and trust the synchronicities on your creative journey. Might be days when you're asked not to write, but to do other things, such as go for a walk, call a friend, cook a meal from your childhood, do something that is so random, and yet once you do it, something inside of you unlocks and the puzzle pieces click. This is what I've been missing. This is what I need to do. That is how your higher self works with you. It sometimes needs to move you around so that you can shift the energy and see the puzzle pieces that you've already collected from a brand new perspective. Number 5, believe in yourself. There is a reason you're being drawn to the concept of channeling, to this video, to wanting to channel more of your potential. And your intuition is going to be the most powerful tool on this journey as you're getting ready or you're in the process of channeling your next book into the world. Good luck.